Yo, 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 what up, what up, what up? It's your girl V-Henny. You already know the vibes. Welcome to the Artistry, where we talk shit about music, entertainment, and the everyday struggles. And we have a dope guest in the building, all the way from Southside Jamaica, Queens, recording artist. We got Credle in the building.
Yeah.
What's good? What's good?
What's going on? What's going on? Was a smooth drive, you know?
Was it?
No,
Was
I'm lying.
Yeah,
But, it was worth it though. I'm in the back of my head like it's gonna be worth it though.
Everybody's always like, "Yo, the traffic coming over here be insane." Like,
it was just getting through the city. Like, come from Queens.
Okay.
And then once I got to Manhattan, it was a little. But after that, it was smooth getting through New Jersey.
gotcha. Yeah. Well, welcome to the Artistry.
Welcome. It's a pleasure.
Welcome.
So much great talent has been here. So I'm just blessed and
I'm blessed too. I'm blessed that you're here, that you took the time. Before we get into anything, you already know how we do. You know, we're gonna toast it up to everything you've been accomplishing. Shout out to like just the whole rebranding that you're doing. We're gonna get into that because I was gonna say when I did the introduction, I was gonna say K Credle, then I was like, don't do it. So, shout out to everything you're doing. I'm seeing just the way it's flourishing. You're booming. You have this new single, which I love. I told you this when I heard it. I was like, yes, So congratulations on everything. This is to you and your success.
Thank you.
Boom, let's do it. Whoo. It's been a while. I haven't seen you since tour.
Right, December. You haven't seen me this year.
No, really?
Yeah.
That's insane. I thought I've seen you. Wait, I thought I saw you recently. It was. You're right.
Yeah, I know social media, makes you think you've seen somebody.
I know. It's been a while. So obviously, like I said, you've been rebranding yourself. But let's get deeper of like who Credle is. Like for those that don't know, it all began with your father directing the choir, correct?
Yeah.
And that's how you started like the whole your artistry in a sense. So can you elaborate for those that don't know who you are, like get more into that, like your story behind that?
Yeah, for sure. Started in the church.
Uh-huh.
I had those parents where it was like, listen, you either gonna be on the choir or you're gonna be on the usher board.
Ooh.
And I was like, I looked at the usher board, I was like, this seems really militant. So
Yeah.
I was like, let me just slide over here. And, I have 3 other siblings.
Okay.
And we just went on the choir, and it pretty much just been rolling from there. Just pretty much, that's where I began my singing.
Yes.
From there, and then pretty much I started, poetry. I picked that up in, I would say, middle school, high school, and then I pretty much just learned to mesh the two. And ta-da, you got what you got today.
No, it's crazy because it's like if you come to think about it, a lot of artists, especially like rappers, right? They usually tend to start, not all, but they usually tend to start with poetry.
Right.
So, and then, obviously you get into, either you hear a certain song or a certain beat and it's like some sort of inspiration. So I want to know, right, for you, like what was that particular song or instrumental that you heard that you was just like, I want to rap?
Oh, man. It's crazy because I'll even take it further back.
Okay.
I'll go back to kindergarten, right?
Okay.
And you got your nap time, right? You got your nap time.
Yeah. I remember those.
That was good times.
I didn't know how to act with nap times. I wish I took advantage of it. But good.
And every time we had to take a nap, the teachers would leave on WBLS.
Okay.
So,
what school you went to?
This was when I was going to school in Jamaica, Queens.
Okay.
So,
okay.
WBLS, I was hearing Sade, I was hearing Maxwell, I was hearing Michael Jackson, I was hearing all these great singers, and it's pretty much not a surprise to me as far as, where I took my sound, because this is me at heart.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The other releases was more of a phase because of what I was personally going through. So like mental health, depression, anxiety, stress, all that stuff I wanted to, speak on because that's what I was going through it heavily. But I knew I would circle back and, get to more of the R&B soul type of feel. and now I'm in a great good space, you know, mentally and psychologically, spiritually. Yeah, that led to me changing myself sonically and aesthetically.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's been a hell of a journey though, for sure.
I mean, that's good then. You realize your growth within yourself as a brand or even as a person.
Yeah.
Because people don't realize, like you said, like you went through your phases. You understand? So people don't realize that it's sometimes a big challenge to just overcome these phases, you know? And now that you're in a better state of mind, which hence the improvement with your music. I'm not saying that there was no improvement in the past, but there is a difference. The energy is more high, like a high frequency in a sense. You know, the reason why I was asking about like what song, because like for example, I remember like diving into music. I remember like when I started rapping, one of my first songs was Suicidal Thoughts. And it was Biggie. And that was just instantly, like, for me, you know, like, so for you, it was just more going back to kindergarten, hearing the Sade and everything. And I'm like, yo, it's dope because, first of all, Sade is a dope, like, brand in itself. But it just explains to, like, those that don't know you, like, it gives them a sense of your character, your personality, you know? Like, if you look at social media, if you look at you, or not even that, before I met you, I heard of you, but I didn't know you. And you seemed very quiet. And then when I got to know you, I was just like, oh, nah, he a fool. Like, you know, you're a down-to-earth person, you know. So knowing the fact that you started taking your craft and you, I think you started taking it more, and correct me if I'm wrong, like more serious, or you started becoming more committed to your music around college, was it? Or
yeah, no, you're right with that.
Okay.
Because I pretty much was like, okay, the year 2014, I was like, all right, like, let me really start recording.
Okay.
So I started with, you know, GarageBand, you know, recording in the closet, you know, in college.
So you was producing your stuff and everything?
Nah, I was just getting...
Or just recording
I was just
yourself?
recording over, like, I was doing, like, covers and remix.
Okay,
on type, and that's how pretty much I started. And then eventually I went on to the route of, like, let me just get on, you know, YouTube or whatever and, you know, get some beats and just write to it. Okay. And eventually that led me to producers wanting to work with me. And then now I work with, like 10 plus producers all the way from, I can work with someone up the block in Queens, or I got people in LA, Germany,
wow,
Nigeria. Like it's crazy. So it's just crazy. Having those different sounds and being able to have the versatility to work with all those people in different places, but still hone in on my sound has just been amazing.
When was the last time you went back to listening to some of your old work?
I want to say a couple months ago.
Okay, how was your reaction to it?
And it was just like, yo.
Was it cringy?
It was like, I love where I'm at now.
Okay.
But it's amazing too, you know, listen to that old work of mine and to see the growth. And, you know, I still keep the anniversary dates of when I released this. Like my first project was, my first mixtape I dropped on Audio Mac 5 years ago. And it was just like, just like listening back to it. And the crazy part though, some people really still expect me to perform some of them. I'm like, really? You still want that? I'm like, okay, well, you know, you're going to have to wait for a bigger show where I have more room. But,
yeah.
But it's crazy.
When did you start realizing your growth within your artistry?
I want to say 2018.
2018?
2018, that was the year. Because I graduated from college in 2017 with my business degree.
Okay.
And that was pretty much the first year I was like, okay, I really want to focus on this music. Like the basketball was cool, but I was like, nah, this is what I really want to do. Okay. And, you know, I really started to really focus on my craft, you know, that year. And that's when I started to see the growth as far as like fans. When I really honestly just started putting that as the vocal point. Okay. You know, for everything. But
I know I noticed that 2018 you started taking it seriously, and that's when you actually took a step back and started your label.
Yeah, I would say 2014 is when I started taking it seriously. Okay. But I would say 2018, that's when I was like, nah, like because I was still playing ball at the time in
Okay.
2014. So it was
Okay.
like I was juggling so much. So 2018 was the year I was like, nah, just straight music.
How was that? Like the transition from playing ball to going strictly to like music.
Oh man, I mean for me it was. I'm not gonna lie. The first year was tough.
Okay.
The first year was tough because that was a sport I've been playing since the age of 5. You know, and then
Wow.
once you graduate and you've been structured a certain way, like okay, at the elementary school it's middle school, then it's high school, then it's college, and then when that structure is just gone and it's just like okay, like you're on your own, it's just like oh shit, like what do I do?
Yeah.
So that first year was really tough, and I was coming off a championship year.
Okay.
My senior year, we got to play in the NCAA tournament, so that was a dope experience. So just seeing my team pretty much. Operate without me, it was just kind of weird to see,
Okay.
But I know I have my nights of, and that's what I want to say to the independent artists out there. You're gonna have days, you're gonna have nights where you're questioning yourself, and I'm looking at the camera because I'm speaking to you. You're gonna have doubt sometimes, and it's a roller coaster. I promise you. Like I know, I've been through every emotion. To get where I'm at now, and there's no cheating.
The system,
there's the process, like you know what I'm saying, how Joel Ob's like trust the process.
No, it's a fact. You know what's crazy, Credle, is the fact that you're saying that, right? Because I obviously I want to get into that as well, like some of the challenges as a starving artist, because it's not easy, but easy said than done with the whole trust the process concept, right?
Right.
Like we can say it, but people don't really understand the struggles that's really behind that phrase. Like it's a real thing. Like you have to trust the process. When did you start realizing the fact that you needed to trust the process? You needed to trust that process and learn to respect it. When did you realize that?
The day in 2014 when I said I'm gonna really take this serious, because shout out to my older brother. Who put me onto a lot of the music that influenced what I create now. So I was 8 years old bumping Get Rich Die Trying. He bought CDs for like College Dropout, Late Registration. I was bumping the Clips, Neptune, Snoop, like all of those sounds. And even alternative rock, to your Coldplays, to like all different type of music. And once I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm really going to take this serious. He was like, yo, one thing I'm going to say to you is, be patient. You know what I'm saying? Because the people that were coming up at the time it was like around that 09 era when it was like Big Sean started emerging, Drake, Kid Cudi, Wale, J. Cole. And that was a really good time, by the way. And he was like, do you listen to them now, from their older days to where they're at now? And he was like, yo, it's a process you really got to go through to find your sound and your confidence. Because when I first was recording, I wasn't, you can hear it, that I'm not as confident as I am now.
Okay.
When it was recorded.
Was it around the same time frame where you found your sound, or would you say it was a little bit more later on?
To be real with you, V, I honestly, like 2020, I found my sound.
2020?
Like, the pandemic.
Okay, pandemic. So there was a positive shift.
Yeah, and it sucks to say, but during the pandemic, it was a skill, right? So for some people, it tipped in their favor, and unfortunately for others, it did not. As we lost so many lives, unfortunately, and jobs and all that stuff. But for me, it was a time to self-reflect and do a self-evaluation of who I am, who I want to be 5 years from now. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was going through it a little bit even during our tour in November and December. It was where I was still figuring it out, and I was getting there. But yeah, I had the chance to like slow down, because I was doing shows and interviews and photo shoots and being a male vixen. So if y'all need me, let me know. I
already know. I got the hookups.
You need a model, let me know. You feel me? Yeah.
I put in an extra fee. Now let me stop. Go ahead.
And during that time, I was like, okay, like, who is K Credle? And I really felt like, I was not K Credle anymore. Like I felt like I outgrew that artist, and people was like, why the name change? And it's so multi-layered, because one, I feel like as K Credle, only people looked at me as an artist. Bringing more of a balance, to everything. And, it was perfect time. I got to just sit down and write a lot. I finally had time to create, and really, tune in into, okay, this is how I want to move forward, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And I'm so happy, that I finally got to reintroduce myself, to the world and, who I am now. And being 7 years in, I honestly feel like I'm starting just now.
That's dope. I mean, regardless of what, it's still dope that you realizing that. I remember in Atlanta, you was asking, oh my God, Courtesy. I think you was letting him listen to some of your new work.
Yeah.
And I remember him saying, I fuck with it.
Yeah.
Right? And then, he was giving you some input, but I can now it makes sense on why, like you said, you were still in search of your sound in a sense, right? Like it was like you had an idea, but it, I guess you now you have the confidence within your new sound, the whole
right.
rebranding in a sense, but then it's like speaking with you now, it's just like, okay, like, again, I was like, when I was going back to some of your earlier work, and then listening to, like, your latest single, and there's just like little certain things you've been sending me. Like, I think it's really good. I like the fact that you took that time. You took the time to just really focus on how to make you sound organic and authentic to yourself. I feel like it, I'm curious on knowing, though, because, you mentioned your name. You went from, K Credle to Credle. So what's the meaning behind Credle?
So Credle is my family name.
Is that?
Yeah, it's my family name. So that's my last name. And I took the K out to take me out of the equation.
Gotcha.
And for me, I feel like we're standing on our ancestors' shoulders.
Yes, we are.
And people need to realize that and not, piss on the shoulders that you're standing on, and respect your ancestors and respect, okay, like I need them to go to this higher place, and that's pretty much what it is with me. I'm on a spiritual journey with my ancestors, and they're helping me that, and I feel their energy, on this journey, and I'm doing this for my future kids, and it's about, legacy. You know what I'm saying? When you hear Cradle, I want them to know it's a family name, and I want it to be a household name, and it's a legacy. It's bigger than me. It's much bigger than me. That was the main reason I did it.
Gotcha. Makes a lot of sense. So I wasn't sure. I was just like, because a few people had asked me. They were like, "Yo, what's the?" I'm like, ask him. Like, I'm not too sure, but I was like, let me ask him as well. As cliche as that question is. I want to go back to now, like the fact that 2018 you started your label. You started the label Credle Entertainment.
Yep.
So, now from 2018 to now, right? You're an artist and you're a CEO.
That is correct.
What are some of the challenges you had to overcome being an artist and being the CEO to a label?
Honestly, it's crazy because people don't want to admit, but I know I got multiple personalities.
Okay.
I say it in my music, and I welcome it. You know what I'm saying? It's who I am. I feel like everyone doesn't wake up the same, and you tap into different spaces to get certain things done, right? And, for me, as a creative, I had to learn that, to be honest, the music to me itself is 10% of what I do and what is important. You know what I'm saying? You can have all the fire music in the world, but if you don't know how to market it, if you don't know how to promote it, if you don't know how to protect it, then what are you really doing? So trust me, I have my nights where the creative me be like, yo, I want to put this out, and the world needs to hear this now. And then the business side will be like, hold on, man. Like, I know you're excited, but let's do this the right way, and it's about, I don't rush my creative process, you know? So in my mind, I'm like, why rush the release process? Like, why rush the marketing process? Why rush anything? If I put my time in to make sure that my music is what it is. You know, so why would I rush the most important part of making sure that it gets heard by as many people as possible?
Okay. Nah, smart man. Smart
Hey.
man. Cause you know, you have those moments when you just like, yo, my team ain't looking. Let me just upload this. You know?
I'm not gonna lie, like, because even speaking with basketball earlier, and I feel like, you know, everyone should. I'm not saying just basketball, but everyone should play some type of team sport where you're involved with working with other people and having to take accountability and responsibility. And I know for a fact all my discipline comes from playing sports. So I know, like, as bad as I want to, you know, release this next single, and I'm like, this Chase is doing well, I want to release another one. I'm like, nah, let it rock, let it breathe.
Being in this, you know, industry for such a amount of time, right? What would be some changes you would love to see within the industry?
I do want to see more, you know, unity.
Okay.
And for also in the music, you know, industry, to me, because it's a difference between the music business and the music industry. You know, and you know, unfortunately it's a, you know, pay for play, you know, in a lot of situations, you know. But I feel like that gap between the major artists and the independent artists is closing in. So I'm glad to see that. And in my 7 years, you know, I'm starting to see that gap close, and where you can really do your thing as an independent artist, where it was a different situation, you know, probably 10, 20, 30 years ago, where you absolutely needed a label. You absolutely, you know, needed those, you know, major executives behind you to even do anything.
Because of social media, we're so used to like the instant gratifications in a sense, or they overlook the process, right? So the fact that you mentioned mental health and depression, facing challenges, etc., you know, give us a moment when you felt you were in doubt within yourself, within your craft, or you was very close to calling it quits. How did you overcome that?
So May 2017, that's when I graduated from college.
Okay.
And, you know, you're told every 6 months your life is going to change dramatically, whether it's an increase or a decrease.
Okay.
And for me, like, I felt on my damn face after that. Yeah, and it's like, okay, like, you had this, you know, sensational basketball career. You know, everyone on campus loved you. You know, you were so involved and all these things going on campus. You know, I was putting together, you know, events, basketball leagues and all that stuff. You know, one student athlete, you know, of the year. And it was just like, oh, this is lit. And then it's like, okay, 6 months later, you know, start from scratch, you know, having to find a job. And I remember I finally found a job, right? And it was actually my first day starting. And then I got a call after work saying that, yo, like, you've been evicted out your crib. So it was like, yo, like, it was such a 360, and it was a lot of emotions, you know, at that time, as you can imagine. And the crazy part is, on my way driving here, I passed by my old working spot.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? So it was a crazy situation, because while that was going on, you know, I had my twin brother. I'm a twin, fraternal.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
You know, he lived in another state. So he called me when it happened. He was like, yo, like, I know this is crazy, but yo, whatever you do not stop doing music, yo. Do not, like, this is stuff, you know, this is material you need to, you know, write and fuel you. So at the time it was that, you know, I was going through it with my ex, you know, and
life was just,
yeah, it was just like, AJ was, you know, and I was like, damn, yo. And it was crazy, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I really had to, you know, look within, and it's like, all right, again, to basketball, it's like, all right, what did I do when adversity hit? I worked out harder, you know what I'm saying? So I got to apply the same energy, you know, in life, and just work harder. And now, you know, I'm in a way better spot mentally than I was at that point.
I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Yikes. I mean, I'm glad that you were able to overcome that. And yeah, yo, it's crazy. Like, yo, I always tell people, bro, it's like, it's easy to say, it's easy to quit.
Yeah.
I feel like, what is it? Negativity always wins in a sense. Shout out to you for overcoming that, because that's a lot to take in. I'm just like, sheesh. Now, do you feel like you have overcome any boundaries you have set forth for yourself?
Whew. Well, the chase, the new record actually surpassed my entire catalog.
Okay.
And
Really?
in 2 weeks. So I was like really going through the numbers. I'm like, wow, like my Lone Wolf 2 album, hit over 100,000 streams, but it took, a year and change,
Okay.
for that to happen. And for that to happen in just 2 weeks, was crazy. And, my goal has always been, I don't want to have to always be there, for my music to play. I don't always want to have to be the one to market myself. I want people to find out about me through radio or a friend, like, where I'm not directly involved. And that happened actually 5 days after the release, and I was on my way to a festival, Day Summit, where I was headlining.
Okay.
And I don't think I told you this, so this is dope. So I was on my way from an interview, in Long Island, and I had to take a lift straight to the show for sound check. And the lift driver pulls up, and he was like, he has his whole Spotify setup. He was like, yo, any artists you want to listen to? I was like, me promoting myself without promoting myself. I was like, you know what? I was like, you can put on Credle. He's like, Credle? I was like, yeah. Credle on. So he puts Credle on. Speaking in third person. Then it's on shuffle, right? And he asks me, because we're hitting traffic, he's like, yo, are you like in a rush or anything? I was like, nah, like, I know how these shows go. They're going to be running late. Like, I'll get there when I get there. I'm pretty sure me being late, I'm going to be on time.
Yeah,
so he's like, okay, cool. He's like, wait, you do music? I was like, yeah, like the music you've been listening to has been me. And he's like, what? So he looks at like the Spotify profile, looks back, and he's like, oh man, like this is crazy, man. Like this is really good. And by chance, the new single comes on. So at that point, my older music was just playing. Then The Chase comes on. He turns it up, and he asks me, he's like, wait. He said, is this song you too? I said, yeah. He was like, yo. So I was listening to this song last night. I was like, wait, what do you mean you listen to it? He's like, yeah, man. He said, I was driving from Maryland, and I was listening to it last night. Man, I had it on repeat. And I was like, wait, nah. This is, you're lying. So before he could say anything else, I took out my phone. I was like, yo, can I, like, do you mind if I record you? Like, saying what you're saying. I'm like, this is documentary shit. You know?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And he just went on a 2-3 minute, span, like, just like, yo, like, I found it through, Spotify, and I added it on my playlist, blah, blah, blah. And it was just crazy that you find a new artist the day before, and then you meet them in person the next day. So he was like, oh man, this is crazy. Like, I got a celebrity in my car, man. Like, this is crazy. Dope. So I was just like, so you can imagine the emotions and the amount of energy I have for that show. Best believe I put on a damn good show that night.
I could have. I hope you did. But that's dope. That's a great feeling. Speaking of The Chase, like when I heard it again, I was just like, that's it. For me, it was. I'm like, you have a good single. Like that's your single. Now going into the fact that you did this whole rebranding, how did you come about coming across, The Chase? Like, how was that process?
It was crazy, and it was itching away at me because I had it already recorded when we went on tour. So I recorded it back December 2019.
Okay.
So it was like, for me, I was like, okay, I think I'm getting somewhere here. I feel like that was the day I recorded it, and I started writing it though November 2019. And the crazy part, I wasn't like working on it every day since then. Like, I was just going back to it like a few months later, seeing what to add. So I was like, okay, during the pandemic, the music production company I'm partnered with called The Resistance.
Okay.
Which they handle like my live shows and everything. One of them, name is Chuck, and he's a great, not only a music director, but he's a drummer.
Okay.
And they were just doing free just throwing free live drums on songs. So I was like, yo, do it to my record. So he did that, and then I was like, what else can we add? And we added bass to it.
Okay.
And it was then we was like, all right, let's add some background vocals. So I started to get some female background vocals, and it just started really just coming together like heavily. And I was just like, oh man. I was like itching because I was like, oh, I know what this song is about to do, but I have to wait, for.
So wait, 2019 you recorded this?
Yeah, back in.
And you waited like.
Yeah, but it wasn't fully done then.
Okay, it was just a whole process like for that, but that's a lot. Like.
Yeah, I know. So I was like back in my head like, yo, I know this is a life-changing single, but it has to be marketed the same way. Now that was when I was struggling between the CEO and the artist, whereas like the artist me really wanted my life to change immediately. Where the business I was like, yes, it's going to change, but we got to do this the right way, And it was crazy. So from then, it probably took like a year to get the final version of everything. And then that's when I started doing the whole business side of like copyrights and all that good stuff.
So that whole year span of like just finalizing it, did you re-record it as well, or you just left the vocals the same and everything? I mean, not like it's not raw, but I mean, you touched it up and everything, but it's the same vocals from 2019, or did you re-record it?
The only part I redid was the intro.
The intro? Okay.
Yeah, so because my falsetto got better as time went on, so I was like, let me just record this falsetto real quick.
Yeah.
And because that was like that's the first note you hear, So and that's what really grabs people right away. And I was like, oh man, like this reminds me of Michael Jackson. So it's just like that grabs people right away, and then the kick just comes right in. I'm in love and I know it. Yeah. So it was like it was really dope. But that's the only part I re-recorded.
Yeah, that song would do so well in the clubs. Like people don't realize. Like
we outside July 1st.
Like yo, it's one of those songs. Listen, it's one of those songs that you can really be like, you can really hear it on like a Z100. And when you're a Z100, that's when you're like, oh shit, I went pop type shit, or like when I made it, But for you to have that patience, to have that itch and just not scratching it, you understand? It's like having a cast on, you understand? Like you want to scratch, you want to get the hanger and put it inside there and just scratch it off, but you was being patient. So, I look forward to seeing what this song can do, because for me, again, it's a great song. Now, are we expecting more sound like this? Like sound like any music track like very similar to this, or like how like explain the whole rebranding as far as your sound, because I know we got the Chase now. So what are we expecting after this?
Well, I do got just say during our pandemic time, I recorded a lot.
Okay.
And I'm really working on this sophomore album, and this to me, is everything.
Okay.
And I really want to show the versatility, of what I'm able to do. So yeah, you're gonna have songs where I'm displaying my vocal ability, but it's still gonna be some rap mixed in there.
Okay.
As well, what I'm saying it's gonna be a perfect balance, from house sounds and so pretty much like R&B, house, pop, hip hop, Afrobeat. I even dipped into that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You get a sprinkle of everything, and it's I'm excited because no one's gonna be expecting what they're gonna be hearing.
This sophomore album, how many tracks are we expecting?
Definitely double digits.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So you have a date or not yet?
We riding with the Chase, right now.
Okay.
We letting that breathe, and let it do its thing. But honestly, to me, I want that single to drive as much anticipation for the album as much as possible.
Smart.
So that album really blossoms and people really, really appreciate that project.
How many tracks have you said you recorded a lot of music?
Yeah.
Oh God. I'm curious on knowing like
it's like so many projects is that I don't know which one to put in front of
one. So
I'm kind of debating what I want my sophomore album to be.
Okay.
You know, because there is a trilogy to Lone Wolf 2 where the Lone Wolf 3 is more of me singing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm still debating if I want to close out that series first and then, you know, where like, okay, like we're waiting on Credle project, but this is what you get, you know, while we wait. You know, I'm still thinking about, you know, how I want to market and strategy.
Gotcha.
Everything.
When was the last time you did something for the first time?
Today, driving to New Jersey. Yeah, today was my first time driving to Jersey. Usually I take like the train or something.
Okay.
So yeah, that was my.
That was your first. So how was the traffic? Wasn't so bad, right?
It could have been worse.
Okay.
Me being a New Yorker, you know, I know it could be worse. Like it's a Sunday, like
okay.
It could have if we was on a Monday or like something like that. It could have been or a Friday, maybe it could have been bad.
Listen, I can't wait to see you get to where you want to go or where you want to be. You know, because you're gonna get there. It's just, you know, it's time, you know, but you're going to get there. It's just a matter of time. Just continue pushing this new, like rebranding yourself, pushing it, letting people know who you are. Like this is bigger than you. So hence the reason why you got your team, you know, and everything like that. People believe in you. So, you know, let's make it happen.
Let's
make it happen.
Let's make it happen, y'all. Y'all make sure, y'all tuning in. Y'all make sure y'all tune into The Chase, man. Streaming everywhere. Music video drops May 19th. You heard it here first on the Artistry.
Ooh.
Music video for The Chase is dropping May 19th. And that will be on YouTube, Apple Music, Tidal, iTunes, Roku, all of that.
Can't wait. And he's gonna be performing as well.
Yes.
Woo! You know, like I look forward to that. I look forward to you know, he's gonna be headlining. He didn't even speak about that.
I didn't know how much you wanted me to drop.
I gotta put it on. I'm like, listen, if you want any features, come see me. Now let me stop.
Yes, June 4th, we are lit. You know what I'm saying? Secret location, but we in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Hit me for details on that. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely going to be a Lithuation June 4th for sure.
And y'all already know, man. Y'all already know. I'm super proud of you. I'm super proud of everything you're overcoming. You've overcame. You know, the fact that you went from, you know, being a kid who started off in a choir singing to look where you're at now. You should be proud of yourself. I'm sure your parents are proud of you. Like,
my driving force is definitely my father, for real. Because I know how much he sacrificed for me to be where I'm at right now, you know what I'm saying? And raising the four of us and having to put, the music pretty much on the back burner, and focus, And, I mean, he gets his emotions out through the church, where he was directing there and singing on that. But I know that, he definitely wanted to take it to the next level. And I know for sure that I'm going to do that for him.
Yeah, you are. You are doing it for him, so super dope. Where can they find you before we have you perform and everything? Where can they find you? And guys, there's no reason why you shouldn't be following him because all his information will be in the description below. But let everybody know. You understand, like all the information and everything.
Yes. So you can follow me on all social media at I am Credle. That's CREDLE. That's on Instagram, Twitter. Facebook, and if you want to check out my TikTok, I don't be dancing like that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to be reposting some people who are going to be dancing to my stuff. So if you want to join, a challenge, you know what I'm saying, let me know. Newly launched website, CredleEntertainment.com, where you can keep up with the newest music and you can actually support the clothing line I just launched. Now go visit the Credle Galaxy store and have fun, y'all. We got shirts, we got hoodies, we got face masks, we got water bottles for all my coffee and tea drinkers out there, especially them singers. You got to keep that bottle for your hot tea so that voice be ready to go before you hit the stage. So you definitely want to cop that. Cheer.
I'm definitely going to support as usual. So you're going to find all his information, as he mentioned, in the description below. It's just a click away. You understand? Show that support. You already know the vibes. It's your girl V-Henny. Rock out with your cocks out. Jam out with your clam out. You dig? We out.
You give me butterflies. Ooh. You give me butterflies. Ooh. to. If you love me, let me know, or let me go. If you love me, it will show. It will show, yeah. Put these games to the side, really need to decide, yeah. Already decided, call up all of my side things for you. Really hope that you vibing. Can you give me a sign, yeah? Tryna be a shining light, yeah. Shorty OD, heaven sent. For you, I turn celibate. With the cookie, got me delicate. With a black queen, almost definite. Why you gotta be so hesitant? Oh, baby, are you really shy? You been hurt, you been told lies. I know what it feel like. You've been hurt, I know. I've been down that road. Please open the door so that I can help you. I'm so strong and I love it. Yeah, I do. I'm in love and I know it, but you are too, yeah. If you love me, let me know, or let me go. Let me go, yeah. If you love me, it will show. It will show, yeah. I'm so strong and I love it. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I'm in love and I know it, but you are too. If you love me, let me know. Let me go. If you love me, it will show. It will show. I'm in love and I know it. I know it, yeah. I'm so strong and I love it. I love it, hey. If you love me, let me know, but let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Let me know. Let me know. Ooh. Let me know. Let me know. You give me butterflies. Let me know. Let me know.
The Artistry.
Catch us on YouTube, Facebook, or outlets.
Follow us, The Artistry NY.